Osteosarcoma, also known as osteogenic sarcoma. Epidemiology and etiology. Osteosarcoma, osteogenic sarcoma, is the most common primary malignant bone tumor in children and adolescents. Osteosarcomas arise from mesenchymal stem cells, osteoblasts, located in the periosteum. The metaphysis of long bones around the knee, for example, distal femur, proximal tibia, is the most common site of osteosarcoma occurrence. More rarely, the proximal humerus is implicated as a site of origin. Osteosarcoma has a bimodal distribution with regard to the age of onset. It most commonly occurs in adolescents, 13 to 16 years of age, older adults, more than 60 years of age. In both age groups, males are more commonly affected than females. Primary osteosarcoma occurs due to unknown etiology. Secondary osteosarcoma may develop due to complications of Paget's disease of bone, radiation injury, and bone infarction. Osteosarcoma is the most common secondary malignant neoplasm, that is, subsequent primary cancer, to occur during the first 20 years following radiation therapy for solid cancer in childhood. Increased incidence is seen in individuals with retinoblastoma. Patients with hereditary retinoblastoma are at much higher risk of developing osteosarcoma compared with the non-hereditary sporadic disease. Li-Fraumeni syndrome is a familial cancer syndrome associated with germline pathogenic variants in the TP53 tumor suppressor gene, which is involved in cell cycle regulation and maintaining the integrity of the genome. Patients with Li-Fraumeni syndrome display a spectrum of cancers, including breast, soft tissue, adrenocortical, brain tumors, leukemias, and osteosarcoma. Histopathology. Histologically, osteosarcomas show proliferating anaplastic malignant tumor cells, often with malignant multinucleate giant cells. An osteosarcoma's histologic hallmark is the production of malignant osteoid, uncalcified bone matrix. Depending on the predominant cellular component, conventional osteosarcomas are subclassified as osteoblastic, accounting for 76 to 80%, chondroblastic, 10 to 13%, or fibroblastic, 10%. Despite histologic differences, their clinical behavior and management are similar. Clinical presentation. Children and adolescents and young adults with osteosarcoma most frequently present with a primary sporadic neoplasm. In contrast, secondary osteosarcoma is primarily observed among adults. The most common sites of osteosarcoma in children are the metaphysis of long bones. The most common sites of involvement in descending order are distal femur, 32%, proximal tibia, 19%, proximal humerus, 10%, middle and proximal femur, 10%, other bones, such as the mandible, 8%, and pelvis, 8%. Note: tumors involving the axial and craniofacial bones are more commonly seen in adults than children. However, adults can also still present with the disease in the lower extremity bones, similar to children. Distant metastases. At the time of presentation, between 10 and 20% of patients have demonstrable macrometastatic disease. Adults over the age of 60 years at diagnosis are also at higher risk for metastatic disease at presentation. Metastatic disease occurs most frequently in the lungs, followed by the other bones. Bony metastases in the same bone or the bone adjacent to the primary tumor are associated with a worse prognosis. Symptoms. The majority of patients with osteosarcoma present with localized pain at the primary tumor site, typically of several weeks' duration. Pain often begins after an injury and may wax and wane over time. Pain may also be related to a pathologic fracture, which may present in approximately 10 to 15% of patients with osteosarcoma at diagnosis. Systemic symptoms such as fever, weight loss, and malaise are generally absent. Physical exam. The most noticeable finding on physical examination is a soft tissue mass, which is frequently large and tender to palpation. The mass may exhibit increased vascularity of the skin. Patients may demonstrate a decreased range of motion of the affected limb or walk with a limp if the tumor involves one of the lower extremities. Patients may also have increased regional lymphadenopathy. Diagnosis. Plain radiograph. The first diagnostic test in patients with suspected osteosarcoma is generally a plain radiograph of the primary tumor. It's important to obtain radiographs of the entire involved bone. Characteristic features on plain radiographs of conventional osteosarcoma, which account for the majority of cases, include destruction of the normal trabecular bone pattern, indistinct margins, and no endosteal bone response. The affected bone is characterized by a mixture of radiodense and radiolucent areas, destruction of the cortex, and periosteal new bone formation, with the formation of the Codman triangle, an incomplete response of host periosteal bone. The tumor causes an elevation of the periosteum, the membrane covering the outer surface of the bone, leading to a triangular appearance known as the Codman triangle. Magnetic resonance imaging. Magnetic resonance imaging of the entire length of the involved bone is obtained as part of the initial diagnostic evaluation of suspected osteosarcoma. The magnetic resonance imaging protocol should include a T1 coronal sequence. In patients with a high clinical suspicion for disease, magnetic resonance imaging should be obtained if plain radiographs are unrevealing or have subtle abnormalities. For patients with plain radiographic findings characteristic for osteosarcoma, magnetic resonance imaging is also indicated for biopsy and surgical planning. Chest computed tomography. A computed tomography scan of the chest with contrast should be obtained to evaluate for metastatic disease, as approximately 80% of osteosarcoma metastases involve the lungs. Laboratory. Increased alkaline phosphatase, lactate dehydrogenase, and erythrocyte sedimentation rate. These labs may be elevated in approximately half the patients with suspected osteosarcoma. They are not routinely used to guide management. Biopsy. The diagnosis of osteosarcoma is made definitively with a biopsy and pathologic evaluation of the tumor. While the correct diagnosis can be surmised in up to 2/3 of patients based on clinical presentation and imaging, none of these findings are pathognomic, and a biopsy is still required for confirmation. Suspected osteosarcoma can be sampled using either a core needle or an open biopsy. Positron emission computed tomography. Whole body fluoroxyglucose positron emission tomography can be obtained to evaluate for both pulmonary and bone metastases from osteosarcoma. In patients with osteosarcoma staged with positron emission tomography, sensitivity and specificity for the detection of pulmonary metastases is approximately 81 and 94% respectively. For the detection of bone metastases, sensitivity and specificity are 93 and 97% respectively. Bone scan. Radionuclide bone scanning with technetium can be obtained with or as an alternative to positron emission computed tomography imaging to evaluate for the presence of multiple bone metastatic lesions and skip metastases. Staging. There are 2 staging systems available for osteosarcoma. Regardless of the surgical staging system used, the most significant prognostic indicator remains the presence or absence of distant metastases. Musculoskeletal Tumor Society Staging System. It is a surgical staging system that is most commonly used for bone sarcomas. This system is based on histologic grade using a two-tiered system, low versus high grade, and whether or not the tumor is confined to a single anatomic compartment. Stage 1A is a low-grade intracompartmental tumor. Stage 1B is a low-grade and extracompartmental tumor. Stage 2A is a high-grade and intracompartmental tumor. Stage 2B is a high-grade and extracompartmental tumor. Stage 3 are systemic or regional metastases. Management. The survival of patients with malignant bone sarcomas has improved dramatically over the past 30 years, largely owing to chemotherapeutic advances. Adjuvant chemotherapy significantly improves survival compared with surgery alone, and is a standard component of therapy for both children and adults. Neoadjuvant versus adjuvant chemotherapy. For patients with localized disease, the optimal timing of chemotherapy, that is, preoperative versus postoperative, has not been established. There is no definite survival benefit for neoadjuvant as compared with adjuvant chemotherapy, but many centers preferentially utilize preoperative chemotherapy, particularly if a limb-sparing procedure is being contemplated for extremity osteosarcoma. Choice of initial therapy for localized disease. For children, adolescents, and young adults up to age 40 with localized osteosarcoma, recommendations suggest a methotrexate-containing chemotherapy regimen over a two-drug, non-methotrexate-containing regimen, although there is no worldwide consensus on the optimal choice of initial systemic therapy. The optimal methotrexate-containing regimen has not been established. For children, adolescents, and young adults up to age 40 with localized osteosarcoma, high-dose methotrexate plus doxorubicin and cisplatin is a reasonable and appropriate choice for standard therapy. For most patients, clinicians suggest against a 4-drug as compared with a 3-drug regimen. However, in countries where mifepristone is available, mifepristone in conjunction with methotrexate, doxorubicin, and cisplatin chemotherapy may be used. A low-grade osteosarcoma has a 90% 5-year survival rate. A higher-grade osteosarcoma has a 50% 5-year survival rate. Neoadjuvant chemotherapy plus surgical excision with wide local margins via either an amputation or a limb-sparing procedure is the standard treatment for osteosarcoma at most institutions. Image-based discussion. Here's an image of osteosarcoma of the distal femur presenting as a pathologic fracture. Here's an image of an anterior-posterior radiograph showing the osteoarticular allograft stabilized with a plate and screws. Here's a computed tomography image from a computed tomography-guided needle biopsy procedure. The non-ossified anteromedial portions of the tumor into which the needle is guided are more likely to contain high-grade tumor than the posterolaterally located densely ossified portions. Here's a histologic appearance of complete tumor necrosis of osteosarcoma following oncologic management. The specimen shows woven bony trabeculae with no viable osteocytes or osteoblast. Here's a radiograph image of conventional osteosarcoma involving the proximal tibia, showing mixed lytic and sclerotic lesions with osteoid matrix associated with malignant tumor cells and Codman triangle involving the proximal tibia. That's all for the video. We'll see you next time.